Hello, my name is Reagan Brigman, and this is my very delayed research speech about Greek weddings. So, to get into it, before I start, I want to clarify I'm referring to it here. I have no way to project. So, I'm going to edit the PowerPoint right here. So, let's get started, guys. So, imagine you got invited to a wedding where it's taking place in this beautiful ceremonial church. There's crowns being exchanged, people are dancing around in circles, all of a sudden people are smashing plates. Well, that is just a tiny introduction into the culture surrounding Greek weddings. So before we get into many aspects about the culture, we're going to do a little trivia and background on the country. So, as you can see on this map, Greece has several islets around it. It's west of Turkey, south of Albania, about southeast of Albania. It has over 6,000 islets. Most of the civilians living in Greece, about 90%, are Christian Orthodox. If we take a look at the flag right here, we can see blue and white stripes. Well, the blue and white stripes represent the sea and the sky. And the cross at the top left represents the country's culture with the Orthodox Church. So it's time to get married. It's time to plan the wedding. When it comes to planning the wedding, you have to dance around with some certain dates that hold cultural significance, especially with the church. So there is a religious holiday in the middle of August, and so the 2 weeks before that, you cannot get married. 40 days before Christmas, you cannot get married. The entire period of Lent, you cannot get married. August 29th, which is the day of preparation for the first 2 weeks that I have mentioned, you cannot get married, as well as a date for September 14th. Truthfully, I do not know the significance to these dates, so forgive me. Ooh, my phone's trying to die. Sorry. Forgive me. But I will say, if you look right here, I have a picture, an illustration of two gods looking down at January and June. Well, these two gods are actually Hera and Zeus. And these 2 months have a intense connection with these two gods. And so typically, traditional Greek weddings like to fall in between these months. Now let's explore a few traditions with the Orthodox Church. First, I want to talk about is Stephana. So Stephana is a crowning ceremony that they do. It's it could be like lace, it could be woven with sticks and wrapped in ribbon. It just depends on how they want to take the quality of the crowns. But they're connected by a string for the bride and the groom. And this represents the unity under God. It represents how their unity is being recognized by God. Another ceremony that they like to do is the ceremonial walk, where the bride and groom hold hands with the priest and they walk around the altar. I read about 3 times. This represents their first steps as a married couple being guided by God. And the third one I'm going to talk about today is the Kumbaros. They are essentially spiritual sponsors for the bride and groom. Typically, the Kumbara will be the best man, and the Kumbara will be the maid of honor. They have to be affiliated with the church. It cannot just be anybody that you want it to be. It's a way to show how this marriage is going to be taken care of in the eyes of God, especially by the people in your life. So we're going to go into some more cultural backgrounds with not with the church, but more so the people, traditions and customs that have just been around in the land. One of those being plate smashing. It is a way to excite joy and celebration They kind of deviate from that now, using like faux glass plates so people don't get harmed. Another one is the Calamachianos. It is a circle where everybody in the reception holds hands and dances together. It is a symbol of unity and celebration and love for everyone that is there. Let's talk about a few foods. Cleftico, it is a marinated roast lamb, typically with some lemon and garlic. It is a hospitality food. It's a food people like to bring together in crowds. One specific food, typically held for weddings or other ceremonies of that sort, is kufeta. It is a sugar-coated almonds. It's handed out as wedding favors. A lot of times they'll also like to throw rice or any form of grain of some sort. They've kind of steered away from that as well and do the finger party throwers that stay on and you can clean up easy. Let's talk about the cross-cultural media and connections in other cultures. There's similar parallels with some of the cultures in Hindu with the garlands, the Stefana. Jewish kupa, they do the similar thing with the united crowns. Media representation that we see is the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding. It has representation of the importance of family, music, traditions. Although it is amplified, many Greeks do not take offense to the movie. It is more so a fun gag movie to watch, but it is a good introduction for people who are not familiar with Greek culture revolving weddings. The last thing I'm going to talk about with cultural relevancy around the world is cultural overlap in other countries, specifically Italy, Lebanon, many countries in Latin America, and that is a result of the Orthodox Church. Many of those countries take different routes depending on the traditional culture of the land, but we can see traditions in other countries that originate typically from Greece. So as I close this out, I want to leave y'all with this. Whether dancing in circles or watching on screen, Greek weddings can show that love is just a universal celebration all across the world. Thank you for watching my presentation.